Morning, folks. This is an 18-inch Westinghouse Orbital Pedestal fan. And the reason I'm doing a video on this is because, well, this is pretty unique in a number of ways, starting with the fact that it orbits. It doesn't just oscillate like the regular ones that just go left and right. This one also orbits, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. But yeah, it's instead of the oscillation gearbox, which is usually on, actually I think it's on top, on most fans, this one sends the power out that way to this crank, which orbits the fan, and it appears to have some kind of counterbalance springs, I guess, to kind of relieve the weight of the fan trying to go down that way. It relieves that from the motor for a long gearbox life. It's got this. Here's one of the things I love the most about this. This is so unapologetically industrial. Like, it's not an industrial fan, but it's the closest you could get to an industrial fan in this day and age. Like, look, it has this cord coming out. Like, this isn't the main power cord, that's over here on this side. But the cord, the power cable that feeds the fan just comes in from the side like this. I mean, it has to because it orbits, but I like how they didn't even bother trying to hide this or anything. That's just the way it is, live with it. I like that. It's a no-nonsense design. This is the model number for anyone who cares. 61 watts, made in China, of course. Orbital oscillating fan, or Orbit oscillating fan, made by Westinghouse. I don't know if Westinghouse actually makes these, or if it's like, I don't know, maybe it's outsourced to like Media or something, Media, whatever the fuck you call it. Either way, this is definitely better than all those other ones. And this was for 60 Canadian dollars. That is amazing, because for 60 Canadian dollars you can get one of those cheap, crappy Honeywell fans that have like a slightly, like, you know, those ones which have like that star-shaped base. They still have the same old crappy plastic blades. They're still 16-inch. They come with a stupid fucking remote, and like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of remotes on these things. I mean, like, how lazy are you? Just get up and just flip the switch. And yes, it has a what do you call this? An 8-position switch. So you can go this way or that way. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. 0. Zeros on the top and bottom. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter which way you spin it. Very nice. Very reminiscent of those older fans. Not the most convenient switch placement, but hey, you're looking for something industrial style, you don't care. And of course, it's got the aluminum blades, very sharp and pointed. I will say they are kind of a pain in the ass to clean. Dust collects on that leading edge there, and it just does not come off without a good scrubbing. But other than that, very good. They have like a very narrow pitch. Is that what you call it? They're very flat, but they spin pretty fast, so they make up for that. I actually just cleaned this one because it wasn't blowing air very far, and it turns out it was because of all the dust on the blades. Once that was gone, very good. Also, the height is adjustable. I believe this is close to its maximum height, but it's still nice that you get the option. The base, I think it's made out of plastic, but it is a very heavy plastic, and that's good. If that base weighs a shit ton, I was amazed when I first saw that. That is a solid base. You could beat somebody to death with that. This is a quality product. I really like this. I didn't even need this. I just saw that it was for 60 bucks at Walmart. It wasn't even on sale. That was just the regular price, and I had to have it because when is the last time you've seen a fan this well built for that sort of price these days? You could double that and you usually still won't find anything this good. Like, fuck those Dyson air multipliers. I want this. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm gonna start it off on high. I don't give a shit. Actually, no, let's start with low. That's low. We better not start barking. I'm in the middle of something. Because the fan spins so fast, compared to like those, you know, the big 3-bladed fans, I'd say it does make a little bit more noise than your regular fan, but you know, that's not why you got this. You got this because you really needed to move a shit ton of air. It's not too bad on low speed. Also, let me turn on the orbital thing. So you push this down just like a regular oscillating fan, and as you can see, it orbits instead of oscillate. really like this feature a lot. I'm surprised it took them so long to implement it in something like this. It's not the most useful thing in the world, but it is pretty cool. Let's go up to medium. And let's go up to high because I'm impatient. Now it gets really loud, but it moves air pretty well. And see, that's the thing. Before, when the blades were dirty, about where I'm standing is where the air would cut off. Now it goes all the way to the other side of the room. I could still feel the air. So I didn't believe it initially, but a little bit of dust on the blades does make a big difference to airflow. Now let's turn it off and see the spin down time. It has a very good spin down time. Good bearings in this thing. It also probably has something to do with the fact that the blades, you know, they probably don't have a lot of air resistance at lower RPM, so it just keeps on going. Unfortunately, I can't really get a good shot of the motor, but the motor has an interesting construction as well. It's not like the regular cheapo fans. It has like very distinct sets of windings inside, sort of like those old Marco motors and the Lasco box fans. I don't know if what I said makes any sense, but trust me, it's a very interesting motor. I like it. It's got lots of vents around it too for adequate cooling. I think the one thing you got to be careful of is if it's running and orbiting and you stick your hand over there, the motor will come up and like crush your hand. Like, I mean, it doesn't hurt that much. It's not that strong, but still, like, it's kind of jarring the first time. So definitely don't hold it from here while you're while it's running and you're trying to move it. Maybe from, I don't know, grab it from the pole. Anyways. Oh yeah, and the Walmart does not have these anymore. They were only for sale for like 2 years. Like barely, like 2 seasons. And then they were replaced with 16-inch models with plastic blades. They have 5 blades instead. And the base has been cheapened, so I'm glad I got this when I did, because you can, as far as I know, you can't get this here anymore. Thanks for watching, folks.